All right, it's about 3:15. Okay, it's time for Salata Asr. Yes, Salata Asr just came in. All right. Everyone, Assalamu alaikum. God's peace be upon you. I'm Martha Nyla Williams Abdullah, and we're continuing with the end of the year telethon. Yes, yes, and you are an important part of the whole process. CWSC, just as any organization, has its core principles, and I'm going to share with you those core principles. Going to our website, community-wide Shura Conference. There was a discussion yesterday on Study Al-Islam, but those who want to go back and watch it, very, very informative, but very connecting, as it was speaking on education and in understanding the words that we hear. And sometimes we form a definition in our mind, and the word I'm speaking of is Sharia. When we hear Shura, perhaps you get the same idea. When you hear Sharia, you should hear Shura, that it is following, it is practicing the law, the actual law in action, Sharia. The Shura is a process by which actions take place. The communication process. CWSC presents 50-year Human Family Strategic Planning. And let's see, let me go and share my screen now. All right, here we are on the globe, globe, the global effect. Every continent, well, all but one continent, has a population or has people living, uh, regardless of whether there are volcanoes or whether there's frequent earthquakes or just brush fires or flooding or what have you. Regardless of that, we all live somewhere in one of the identified 6 continents. And so the global effect is whatever I, Martha Nyla Williams Abdullah, whatever I need, the requirements for me to live, to beyond existing, but live, truly live, then there is a respectful process that takes place. And that is with breathing, with sleeping, with relieving, having a relief system, physical. We all have that. Whenever either of those areas or items get compromised, then we get problems. Well, likewise with our living in the shared freedom space. Whenever our space gets compromised, we feel the effect of it. We feel, well, and then we respond or react. But the core principle for CSC is to really have compassion, be purposeful, meaning know where you're stepping, know why you're stepping, and what you're stepping for. Stepping, I'm using stepping as a means of movement, your movement. Where are you going? Why? What for? And what are you what is the outcome? What are you looking to accomplish in making your steps? So I'm here on the website and go to our governance. That's the persons. You think I have this down pat now, right? Organizing. Where is it? Organizing. Okay. Our commitment to transparency, organizing documents, charitable bylaws, operating guidelines. That's where our guiding principles, our core principles are under our operating guidelines. Well, it's taking me the long way around. So I can come back in. I'm going to click off from here and come back in but as you can see, transparency includes our bylaws are online. Operating guidelines are online. I'm mentioning this because uh, there is a term that we like to see a succession of persons, a rotation of persons being in the directing officers' positions. And that includes the board of directors for CWSC. That includes the operators of American Muslim 360. Now, our hosts can go on forever and a day. Our directors, as long as they volunteer their services and put forth an effort to address the concerns that's identified within their area, then they can maintain. But our directing officers of the constituted by the bylaws, then there's a rotation for those officers. All right. So opening the door, and of course, I mentioned Shura. There's and it's beautiful that we were just discussing laws and knowing our rights and our responsibilities and understanding when we're when the function is which function is determined to be in need of or in play, which function. And so when we're discussing what regulates the board of directors and what regulates a volunteer, that's as a listener, a volunteer that donates time or donates money, money and time, uh, who is able to uh, recommend someone for the board of directors, and then through the voting process to say, well, we think that this person would be best, but there are criterias, and so this is why we have the bylaws and the guidelines, operating guidelines, online, so that they can be read and they can be addressed with any questions. Are we if should we need to improve upon them, update for any reason, then add to, uh, amend, in other words, or delete. Perhaps something is no longer necessary, such as we have our tickler list. Well, I'm not sharing that, but we have our tickler list, and that tickler list gets more specific as to what needs to be done, who's going to do it. Once that's completed, it's no longer needed to be under. So and it's within the operating guidelines that we establish a tickler list, a checkoff list, if you will. Let me go back here to our main screen. Excuse me. Oh, that was that the right one. That's operating guidelines. I'll leave that for you too. Okay. Um, Core principles. Why am I having a problem finding our core principles? One moment, everyone. Intelligent operations. Oh, and by the way, volunteer hours are tracked. You track your Oh, well, I was not being heard. Let's see here. I was just talking about, and let's just go straight to. I won't repeat because that's about 5 minutes. I was talking and not being heard. Okay, leadership nomination criteria. As we were speaking about the rotation of officers for CWSC AM 360. Now, the AM 360 part, that's an appointment for the CEO. The board of directors are elected, selected, elected, nominated, and voted on. So, leadership nomination criteria, Office of CWSC Executive Director. We're going right to the top, right? Right to the point, and we won't see just the top. So, let me share this with you. And should you have someone in mind that you want to nominate, and they can come in, go through the process that we will expect to be like a probationary period, and they show the enthusiasm to read the documents, become versed of the documents that lead the organization. And that means the entire intelligentsia. And see the importance of our number one intelligentsia component. We say number one, the flagship, is that which is the broadcasting network, which broadcasts 24 hours a day, just we'll say 7 days a week. We have access to broadcast the vision and the mission of CWSC. We all are CWSC. It is the intelligentsia. Then the process includes registering, not walking through the door, wanting to be a participant and saying, oh, by the way, I don't want to register. I just want to come in and by all means, come in, voice your opinion through the avenue of American Muslim 360. But when you get involved in the work as a volunteer, we ask that you register, understanding that your volunteerism, you're agreeing to certain criterias, and it's not a burden being placed upon any individual. It's just an acknowledgement of your hours that you're connecting with, connecting and imparting. So we pray that everyone connect with the Model Community National Resource Directory, volunteering your hours, and if not, then register with the Join CWSC form, which is a shorter form, still under the Model Community National Resource Directory, but it is not placing you as a resource, but as a contributor of good. Nonetheless, everyone is a contributor of good, but yours is at with the particular a particular reserve. I would just say that. All right. So the leadership nomination criteria is here on our website, Office of CWSC Executive Director. The minimal core is nomination criteria considerations. The executive director reports to the board of directors and is responsible for leading the overall strategic plan for CWSC and exercising general supervision over all affairs of the conference's national operations and ensures, along with the board, departments, and advisors, that CWSC operates in accordance with its bylaws, articles of incorporation, fiduciary responsibilities, and applicable statutes and regulations, whether at the local, state, federal, or even global level, for example, internet regulations. The director also serves as principal spokesperson and representative for the CWSC and collaborates with other organizational leaders at the national and international level of leadership. The executive director develops plans and policies to ensure the organization's day to day operations reflect the strategic mission, vision, and guiding principles, and that Shura is properly implemented throughout the institution to benefit the institution and all its stakeholders. The executive director is elected to office by the board of directors who considers, qualifies, and vets, all nominations. So our board of directors are the ones that do the vetting and electing an executive director based upon the criteria that we just read. Minimum requirements that it be that the person is a nominee. A nominee should have shown outstanding commitment, dedication, and service to CWSC in the performance of their currently assigned responsibilities. What are we saying? We are saying that this is an internal operation, and whoever is internally operating right now, then CWSC, that based upon their commitment that they have shown or are showing a an understanding, dedication, and service to CWSC in performance of their currently assigned responsibilities. That they exhibit a keen understanding of the CWSC mission. They exhibit a keen understanding of CWSC's mission, vision, and principles, its components, plans, and processes. That the nominee has has demonstrated that he or she prioritizes their time to help the CWSC and demonstrates to the best of his or her ability that she or he can fulfill the office's responsibility responsibilities, including chairing and attending executive level meetings with CWSC in general and with the board of directors and other stakeholders. The nominee possesses the knowledge, the leadership, and the temperament and executive skills to sustain and advance the CWSC. The nominee has been a registered and active volunteer as demonstrated by active engagement in working in any one of CWSC's intelligentsia operations. The board of directors may waive this requirement in the event a director from outside the organization is brought in to staff the Office of Leadership. And that is saying that perhaps a person is not a director of any of the intelligentsia components, from the CEO American Muslim 360 to the director of the National Leadership Advisory Council, ambassadors, leadership development council, the internship, the think tank, the speakers bureau, the scholarships, the bookstore. Either of those directors, because they are directors, they're one's knowledgeable, making themselves knowledgeable of CWSC's vision, mission, and vision. The mission is the operation, operating the how to mission, setting those goals and strategies for facilitating, make the mission, seeing the mission through. So anyone from the outside who has an understanding of that has found themselves involved in working with CWSC without being one of the directors. All right. That can be waived should the event arise that we're in need of an executive director, and the closest to that possibility is someone operating from the outside but has a true love for the mission of CWSC and has a true love for seeing it move forward and has exemplified that in other ways. The nominee has prior executive leadership experience, is desired with a preference for a current leader who has operated in multiple capacities or departments or intelligentsia components. That is the preference for CWSC executive director. So, should anyone enter your mind for that? As we say, we want young blood, right? We want young blood, someone exemplifying the understanding of that and willing to connect and be responsible for what we just read and know that it reports to the board of directors as it participates in being having an executive committee that can include board members of the board. So we ask everyone to donate. Go to cwsc.us, click on the blue donate button, and the safe and secure area is PayPal, or you can send directly your check or money order to CWSC, make it out to CWSC Inc., and any notation you want to make as to any specific area that you want to direct your donation or contribution to, or to the general treasury, praise be to Allah. Make that in your note. Do not, we ask that you do not make the check or money order out to AM 360, or make the check or money order out to any of the intelligentsia components. Make it out to CWSC and indicate in your notation that it is for that particular area that you want to send your monies to, your contribution. Thank you. And the address 495 34th Street, South, St. Petersburg, Florida, 33711 4511. And that's 4905 34th Street South, number 185, St. Petersburg, Florida, 33711-4511. Should you need assistance, please call us at 910-317-0297 or email us info@cwsc.us. Again, info@cwsc.us. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you, and we invite you over and over and over again. Please go to CWSC.us. We are in association with some of the following that I will name. As we said, American Coalition for Good Government, Graceline Community Inc.org, Moss Cares, Muslim American Veterans Association, Muslim American Logic Institute, Islamic Learning Institute, Camp Khalil, Muslim Culture Con, Study Al-Islam, A Clear Understanding.net, Al-Islam Worldwide TV, and Al-Islam Worldwide Ministry, American Muslim 360. I'm pulling that up because it stands out front. American Muslim 360 National Broadcasting Network. It's the flagship for CWSC. And through American Muslim 360, other mediums are connected. A New Day for Al-Islam Community Radio. The Media Alliance. Words Make People. And through the media, we are in association with many organizations, the conveners. Let me get my screen back up here. We'll stop in about 5 minutes. All right, American Muslim 360. Please donate. This is the CWSC end of the year telethon. Our goal is $25,000. And we're asking for your support. So we intend to the efforts, making continuing our communication process, collaborating with organizations to make it easier for each of us other organizations sharing what their goals are, bringing it forward to you. That's what we want to do. We want to bring before you, make have this as a platform for other organizations to be able to share directly with you. As you will read about them in the Muslim Journal, you may hear them be represented on Study Al Islam, mosques, entities, on other radio conference calls, because radio broadcast has been eliminated as far as blog is concerned. But there are local radio stations that you may be listening to, and you hear the efforts of an organization that is in the Muslim Journal, or you've heard about it on Study Al Islam, you've heard about it through Mosque Cares, and you hear about it through the Al Islam Worldwide TV or Al Islam Worldwide Ministry or clearunderstanding.net. And in studying Arabiya, the Muslim American Logic Institute, the Islamic Learning Institute, and others that are present that we have yet to connect with, but that is one of our goals, is to connect with throughout the 50 states strong. We do not want to leave any organization that is striving to make life better for those that they connect with and beyond. That is the purpose of CWSC. Here we're going to see if this will come through. CWSC AM 360 special, and this was 2019 end of the year telethon. Just want to give you get a little yesterday. Perhaps it'll come through. Okay. All right, we're just not hearing it. Okay, we use Spreaker. So American Muslim 360 on Spreaker. There we have it. It's already up there. That's where I tend to go. There's American Muslim 360. And Ahmed Mitchell and our rights. Run Edwards, episode 300. Let's see. We want end of the year telethon. Let's see. Yes, Spreaker is where we submitted our radio broadcasts. Now, these are all American Muslim 360, but they're not titled such as Islam, all about courtship and marriage. That's titled End of Year 2021. No. So let me go to American Muslim 360 again. Our search. So let's go here. A whole list. Let's see. American Muslim 360, Al Islam in Focus, female, oh, the female solution. That's back in, that was January 2025. Load more. All right, we'll go through the process here. The think tank on governance. Load more. Maybe we'll get to the end of the year telethon from last year. Let's see here. We're down to January 4th. Narrative aspirations. Map 5, living and upload live, contemplations, slow more. And what we're looking for, this is Spreaker where we sent our let's unmute myself there. All right, stay with me here. Hajalala, assalamu alaikum. You're staying with me here. There.
Yes, ma'am.
We want to get to the end of the year telethon where we can hear from last year. What were we saying? Once you finish presenting, it is truly amazing how you're already gearing up for the next moment, the next day, the next process. When you go back to thinking about, okay, let's see, National Town Hall, straight to the point, 50-year strategic planning under education, preparing to make it evolutionary, the think tank and developmental stages, community buzz. I think we're getting close. End of the year, telethon. Okay, making sure that I'm able to be heard. Inheriting stories, optimal health. This was December 2nd. Living in the upload. I don't see anything referencing. I guess we did not have an end of the year Telethon. Wow. That's critical. Hmm. Wow, we had November 27th. Optimal health. That'll be coming on next. Mhm. Huh. On Governance, New Day for Al Islam and Culture Insights. Believe it or not, I'm not seeing it, y'all. Well, oh, why don't I go to YouTube and see if it's there? Comparing. No. Okay. That's what I will do. I will go to, just stay with me here, everyone. I'm thankful. Well, why did I go here and do this then? Um, being at the iftar, which is at the Coliseum in St. Petersburg. I want to share communication here. Let's see things. Why isn't it? Oh. The Honorable Kenneth T. Welch is our mayor. He's a reverend.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
It is truly an honor to join you once again tonight for the 7th annual. This is all in a spirit of unity and fellowship as we celebrate the breaking of the fast during the observance of Ramadan. I want to thank the Tampa Bay Muslim Association for once again organizing this wonderful gathering. And as Imam Ali, who's also my neighbor, by the way, said, really a chaotic, divisive time in our world. Even more important that we stay who we are as a community, who we are as a city, that we come together on one accord as a city of many faiths, and that we are unified with a common purpose in the city of St. Petersburg. I also want to express appreciation to the Muslim community, our brothers and sisters, and our esteemed Muslim faith leaders here in the city of St. Pete. Your friendship and your partnership enrich our city in ways that cannot be measured. This event in particular serves to show the strength that lies in diversity, the power. I also acknowledge our city team who's with us tonight. We have Councilmember Dick Sanders is with us tonight. And we are extremely safe because we have both Chief Holloway.
Her name is Roshana.
And our new fire chief is with us.
Yes.
That is an important observance of our faith. It's also an opportunity to celebrate our shared values and our common purpose. Events like this remind us of what we have in this true special, and that's the power of love, the power of unity. We can't be separated by outside voices that don't always say, we are St. Pete. Thank you, and God bless you. Enjoy the evening.
Alhamdulillah, you're good. How are you? Welcome.
You all heard me say that we are native.
Yes.
Okay, and he's a very good neighbor. But I also want to thank all the police officers from the St. Pete Police Department. Would y'all please stand? And also, we have a member from the Pinellas County Sheriff Department. It's also with us. Please stand.
All right.
Thank y'all so much. When I come in, I'll tell them so I feel safe tonight. Thank y'all for being with you.
Alhamdulillah, my brother. You're good.
Thank you, Mayor Mahoney. It's time now for our keynote speaker, Munir Bukiza. He is the principal of our Qualm Academy. We just saw the young students, a few of the young students singing to you and leading you the Pledge of Allegiance. He leads hundreds of students in the city of St. Petersburg. He is Dr. Bukiza. He has earned his PhD in educational leadership. And is studying the role of Islamic schools in shaping student identity. His work has been featured all over the country in peer-reviewed journals. He is also managing a $6 million grant from the Wallace Foundation. Educational leadership, that was the focus of his PhD. He's leading that in the Internship to Excellence program. Shaping his school leadership certification in Florida. And beyond those contributions, he currently serves as the chair of the Islamic Society of St. Petersburg and is a regular speaker at mosques and community events throughout the country, regularly engaging in interfaith and civic dialogues to promote a deeper understanding of Dr. Munir Bukiza.
All right.
That's a heavy introduction. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. And I apologize for the picture. That's me some 10 years ago. I did send a new one, but it's for in the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. Good evening.
Good evening.
Brothers, sisters, esteemed guests, neighbors, and friends. To stand before you tonight. Before we begin, I would like to offer a short prayer, praising God, the Most High, the Almighty, for granting us this opportunity to backgrounds.
Yes.
People of different colors, people of different walks of life, exhibited in this hall tonight. We are united in a spirit of peace and trying to understand the shared meaning of humanity. We ask you, God, in this blessed night of Ramadan, to bless this gathering with love, sincerity, and purpose. May you fill our hearts with compassion for one another, strengthen the bonds of community, and guide us towards justice and truth. We ask you, God, to bless this beautiful city of St. Petersburg, the city we call home, and to guide all of those whom you entrusted to lead it towards wisdom, fairness, and service to all. May St. Petersburg continue to be a place where all of us, regardless of our differences, can thrive, contribute, and belong. As we break bread together tonight, we may ask Allah to make this a moment of reflection and gratitude and renewal. And may our departure from this place be one of peace, connection, and mutual respect. This gathering is a testament to the power of unity. We are grateful for the leadership that makes this possible. A heartfelt thank you to Mayor Welch, really thank you. I think he left, but his commitment to diversity and community building is really noticed. We also recognize the Tampa Bay Muslim Association and the Islamic Society of St. Petersburg for their initiative and dedication to bring this event to life. A special appreciation for the students of Arqam Academy, whom I'm proud to call my students. Go Arqam! We see in you the future of the city. To all the sponsors, the workers, the volunteers who made this event possible, strengthen our bonds. As I was preparing this speech, I was thinking myself, asking myself, why are we here? Why are we gathered here tonight? What is the purpose for which you left your homes and you decided to come and spend these few hours with us? The answer that I can find is that we came together. This concept is so rooted in Islam that it is mentioned in so many teachings of the prophets, peace be upon him, and be upon all the prophets before him. He said in one of his teachings, spread peace, feed others, maintain family ties, and pray at night while people are sleeping, you will enter paradise in peace. Such a beautiful teaching. It reminds us of the essence of faith. That faith is not only worship, but it's also manifest in the actions you carry towards others, your relations with others. Words, but it's about creating spaces where everyone could feel safe, valued, and respected. And tonight, as we sit together at these tables, breaking bread, we are living these very concepts. Is a testament that when we come together in the spirit of understanding and generosity, we strengthen the bonds of humanity, we strengthen the bonds of neighbors, and we strengthen the bonds with one another. Ramadan also
to work under his leadership as a member of the communications team for a couple of years, and I can say there's no other place he'd rather be than right here with you right now, as he's been here the last several years. So his love and support he shows great work for our city and for this organization. So please welcome the Honorable Kenneth T. Welsh.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
It is truly an honor to join you once again tonight for the 7th annual Iftar dinner. This is always a special time when our community comes together in a spirit of unity and fellowship as we celebrate the breaking of the fast during the Ramadan. I want to thank the Tampa Bay Muslim Association for once again organizing this wonderful gathering, and as Imam Ali, who's also my neighbor, by the way, said, this is really a chaotic and divisive time in our world. It's even more important that we state who we are as a community, who we are as a city, that we come together on one accord as a city of many faiths, and that we are unified with a common purpose in the city of St. Petersburg. I also want to to the Muslim community, our brothers and sisters, and our same Muslim faith leaders here in the city. Your friendship and your partnership enrich our city in ways that cannot be measured. This event in particular serves as a shepherd of the strength and lives of diversity, the power of inclusivity. I also want to acknowledge our city team who's with us tonight. We have Councilmember Deborah Sanders is with us tonight. tonight is an important observance of our faith. It's also an opportunity to celebrate our shared values and our common purpose. Events like this remind us of what we have in St. Pete that's really special, and that's the power of love, the power of unity. We can't be separated by outside of and respect the power of love. And so we thank you for being here tonight. As we always say, we are St. Pete. Thank you, and God bless you. Enjoy the evening.
All right. Alhamdulillah. You're good. How are you? Welcome.
Y'all heard him. He said that we are neighbors.
Yes.
Okay, and he's a very good neighbor.
Huh.
But I also want to thank all the police officers from the St. Pete Police Department. Would y'all please stand?
Yes. Yes.
And also we have a member from the Pinellas County Sheriff Department. It's also with us. Please stand.
All right.
Thank y'all so much. Whenever they come in, I tell them I feel safe tonight. Thank y'all very much. Peace be with you.
Alhamdulillah, my brother. You're good.
Thank you, Mayor Brother Rodney. It's time now for our keynote speaker, Monir Burkiza. He is the principal of our Guam Academy. We just saw the young students, a few of the young students sing to you and lead you in the Pledge of Allegiance. He leads hundreds of students in the city of St. Petersburg. He is in educational leadership. And his the role of Islamic schools in shaping student identity. His work has been featured all over the country in peer-reviewed journals. He is also managing a $6 million grant from the Wallace Foundation aimed at preparing future school leaders through educational leadership. That's the focus of his PhD. He's leading that in the Internship to Excellence program, shaping his school leadership certification in Florida. And beyond those contributions, he currently serves as the chair of the Islamic Society of St. Petersburg and is a regular speaker at mosques and community events throughout the country, regularly engaging in interfaith and civic dialogues to promote a deeper understanding of Islamic values. Please welcome Dr.
All right.
That's a heavy introduction. I appreciate it. I apologize for the picture that's me some 10 years ago. I did send a new one, but for some reason they chose this one. So thank you for that anyways. In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. Good evening.
Good evening.
Brothers, sisters, esteemed guests, neighbors, and friends. It is truly an honor to stand before you tonight. Before I begin, I would like to offer a short prayer, praising God, the Most High, the Almighty, for granting us this opportunity to come together. People of different backgrounds,
Yes.
people of different colors,
Yes.
people of different walks of life,
Yes.
as exhibited in this hall tonight. We are united in a spirit of peace and trying to understand the shared meaning of humanity. We ask you, God, in this blessed night of Ramadan, to bless this gathering with love, sincerity, and purpose. May you fill our hearts with compassion for one another, strengthen the bonds of community, and guide us towards justice and truth. We ask you, God, to bless this beautiful city of St. Petersburg, the city we call home, and to guide all of those whom you entrusted to lead it towards wisdom. May St. Petersburg continue to be a place where all of us, regardless of our differences, can thrive. thrive, contribute, and belong. As we break bread together tonight, we may ask Allah to make this a moment of tell you a little about Allah since we are in this month. It teaches us the true balance of life, that one should strive not only for worship of God, but also for good relations with people. Allah Ta'ala, God says in this ayah, يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. O you who believe, fasting has been prescribed to you as it was prescribed to nations before you. Consciousness is one of the main purposes of Ramadan. To deepen our consciousness of God, to develop self-restraint, and to refine our characters. During Ramadan, as you may know, we abstain from food, drinks, and sexual desires. And the purpose of that, one of the purposes behind that is that if we can do that and stop ourselves from indulging in the basic necessities of life, then we can definitely fight our corrupt temptations and our wrong inclinations. This is one of the purposes of this blessed month of Ramadan. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught his companions this Muslim Ummah. And I wanted tonight to share with you a beautiful story that shows to one another. Before I do and tell you about the story, I want to give you the background of the story. The Prophet, peace be upon him, received revelations at the age of 40. He was born in a city called Mecca. And after revelation, he preached and asked people to join him for about 13 years. All that time, he was persecuted, him and those who were following him, until the command came from God that he should migrate to another city called Medina. But when he did that, and his companions did that with him, he left everything behind. Because the people in Mecca told them that you should not leave with anything. You choose either you or your properties. And often many people chose to leave everything behind and to follow the footsteps of the Prophet. As such, when they arrived to Al-Madinah, this new city where they are trying to establish this new religion, many of them had nothing, literally nothing. And they were relying on the generosity of the people who hosted them in the new city. So keep this background as you hear the story of a man who came to the Prophet one night and he told him, Prophet of Allah, I am hungry. Do you have food for me? And the Prophet, ﷺ, peace be upon him, knew he did not have food in his house. To highlight that, his wife is telling us that monks with fast, they would see few new moons and they would not be able to ignite any fire in their house to cook anything because they had nothing. So the people who are listening to this narration of her, they asked her, how did you survive? She said with two things, water and dates, as the only food they could find. And she said, we had neighbors that would give us milk from their animals from time to time as they were able to. So this man is coming and asking the Prophet for food, and he himself doesn't have anything to give him. So the Prophet turns to his companions and he said, who would feed this person tonight. One stood up and said, I will do that. And as he takes him to his house and gets to the house, he asks his wife, do we have any food? She said, barely enough for us. So, well, I have a guest. So, this is what you do. You prepare the food, you put it down, and as you do that, turn down the lamp or turn it off. So that guest doesn't see that we're not eating, but we sit around the table and we pretend that we are eating. Not only that they provided the physical nourishment for the guest, but they were so concerned about his emotions that if he knew that they didn't have food, probably he would have eaten. Probably he would eat, but he would feel that he did something wrong. But out of concern, they didn't want to even make him feel that. The next day when this host met the prophet, peace be upon him, the prophet received him with a large smile, and he said, reveal a verse about what you and your wife did last night. And the verse reads in the meaning, they give others preference over themselves, even if they themselves are in need. And whoever is saved from the greed of his soul, it is they who will be successful. In Arabic it sounds, وَيُؤْثِرُونَ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ وَلَوْ كَانَ بِهِمْ خَصَاصَةٌ وَيُؤْثِرُونَ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ وَلَوْ كَانَ بِهِمْ خَصَاصَةٌ وَمَن يُوقَ شُحَّ نَفْسِهِ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. This is one of the unique qualities of the Quran, that it was revealed as people lived their lives, experienced life and the difficulties and the challenges and wartime and peacetime and family time. God was sending them directions and revelations to guide them as they were alive. And as such, the community in the first our gathering tonight reflects the way the Prophet, peace be upon him, built a community of love, tolerance, and unity, where everyone felt valued and included. We drift apart, living in silos. Silos of our identities, silos of our cultures, silos of our communities. But we grow stronger if we break those walls, if we try to reach out to understand each other. My message tonight is, the dinner where differences fade and our shared humanity takes center stage. Before we can marry, we need to get why we are here tonight. May we leave tonight inspired to open our tables, our hearts, to open our hands to those in need, and to build a world where justice, peace, and compassion bring us together as one human family. May we leave this gathering more connected, inspired, to building bridges of understanding in our beautiful city. Before I yield the microphone, I'd like to also ask you to join me in prayer for our brothers and sisters who are oppressed all around the world. As we are enjoying this safety and peace and calm, there are brothers who are suffering under the bombardments of bombs and fire, and innocent kids, innocent children, innocent people are dying in a senseless war. We ask God to bring peace to the world. We ask God to give power to those who are oppressed. We ask God to make us voices for those who don't have a voice. We ask God to make us true agents of change in the world. And thank you for your valuable time.
Amen. And so we say amen.
I want to thank you too, because not only are you educating, but educating so much for shaping the world is right.
Yes.
And it's now time for our closing remarks. I want to thank you for allowing me to serve as your MC another year, and thank you, Brother Ali. We have a short presentation as well. It's always an honor and a blessing to be here.
Let us first of all give a round of applause for our master, Mr.
Yes.
And I'm going to sit on a special show at 8 o'clock. That we're going to make her a perfectly moderator.
Her son will take over.
It's called Telethon. Telethon is the dinner after we break the back. Those historical facts. Here's our dinner. The first guitar dinner that took place with members of Islamic faith and the third president of these United States. Third president. You know who the third president was?
Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson, yes.
Thomas Jefferson, who also owned a copy of the Muslim holy book, the Quran. And that Quran is on display today in the Library of Congress. It's called the Thomas Jefferson Holy Quran. And he had invited a Muslim representative, like an ambassador, to come to the White House. But then, and he was aware that this invitation took place during this month of Ramadan. So the president was aware that Muslims does not eat food or drink water during daylight hours. After sunset. What was that? First
Well, everyone, we're preparing now for the next presentation hour, which will be Optimal Health by Imam Abdul Shaheed. As we go forward, we have about 15 minutes, and we will move out of the way for Imam Abdul Shaheed for Optimal Health from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then following that, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. is Imam Abdul Aziz of Bronx, New York. Maya Ali Kulehal, together under any or all circumstances. Thank you for being here as a listener to and a sharing as you share in the opportunities that we have here with CWSC. Should you want to be a volunteer with any of the intelligence components, let's see, we're going to share something with you here. One moment. Show that this morning. With BC, Bilal Industries, Think Halal Industries, and the work that they're doing in Philadelphia. And we're going to connect with other masjids and Islamic centers and community centers and the work that's going on. Earlier today, we had the Dr. Constance Shabazz with a guest speaking on Medicare and all that we need to know. At some point later this evening, I will share that video as to the video that they shared. I think it was recorded. But we'll share it for those who need the information. Sharing my screen here. And if you were on this morning, perhaps you saw this. Let's see here. This is the president of Beathy, Halal Industries, Think Halal Industries. To the left is Imam Abdul Wali Shahi, excuse me, wrong. Wali Ayu Bilal. And to the right is the supporter, sponsor, Keith Harris. He's a legislative person, representative with District 195 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So there they are. It rained during yesterday when they were sharing with the not-for-profit Al Maun, Neighborly Needs, sharing in foods as citizens came through to share in the lot. As you see behind there, there's a gentleman receiving distribution. Ms. Harris is in dialogue with Imam Abdul Wali Ayub Bilal. I will get that interview with Abdul Wali Shaheed, who sings the Humanity is Everybody's Business. Picture with Sherry Bilal here on the end with a white hat, feathery hat. along with Keith Harris, then her husband, Imam Wali Ayub Bilal. And again, I think this is Brian Ali. She'll correct later. Then there's James Bashir that we hear all the time on Loud Industries. And next to him, I think that's the young lady who donated the van. I'm not, but Sherry will let me know. Where did I go wrong on this? Sherry did tell me that these were, many of them are representatives, politicians in Philadelphia. As you see, Ma'am Wali Ayub Bilal on the left, and on the far right is that Keith Harris there? No, I think that's another politician who I thought was Brian Ali, but I was in error. But Sherry will be on Wednesday. They need a couple of days to get back in the spirit of things because yesterday was really a high-powered day. As you can see, the building behind them, those are apartment buildings. But I believe it's close to the building that we have for Bilal Industries, Think Halal Industries. Another snapshot of Sherry and the representative Keith Harris, then her husband, Wali Ayub Bilal, and who I said I thought was Brian Ali, but I believe is another representative. And then James Bashir. Now, this looks like the building. Let's see here. Yes, this is the building that they have. That building right there, everyone. And they're working hard to get it into operation.
It's yours. You're welcome. Tell your family they're welcome. Come.
Get your mill in the room. Get your mill. I ain't gonna be on the microphone. Nah.
Let's see that again.
It's yours. You're welcome. Tell your family they're welcome. Come.
Get your mill in the room. Get your mill. I ain't gonna be on the microphone. Nah.
John Hancock. Everybody, you're welcome. Serve yourself. John Hancock. Everybody, you're welcome. Serve yourself.
Ooh, nothing.
I see you dancing. Some people in our neighborhood to know, come get you some food for free. We're here today. Anything that we got is yours for free. We want to see you. Tell your family members they can come get something for free. Brother, you got enough? Did you get enough? Mm-hmm. You still loading up? You passing somebody a bag. You never a chance to fill up. That's some people in our neighborhood to know, come get you some food. We're here today. Anything that we got is yours for free. We want to see you. Tell your family members they can come get something for free. Brother, you got enough? Did you get enough? You still loading up? You passing somebody a bag. You never a chance to fill up. That's
So that is it, everyone. And let's share our disclaimer here. Let's stop sharing here. And I realized this morning I did not share our disclaimer. All right. Yeah. I'm going to share it and read. American Muslim 360 disclaimer. The content of the American Muslim 360 Broadcasting Network is and community service purposes only. Views expressed by hosts or guests are their own and not necessarily the official position of American Muslim 360 or the parent corporation, Community-Wide Shura Conference, Inc., CWSC, or its board of directors. Content is not designed to provide specific and personal medical, financial, legal, counseling, or other professional advice. No liability, explicit or implied, shall extend to hosts, AM 360 or CWSC. We encourage you to consult an advisor for your specific circumstances. And with that, everyone, I'm going to share one more thing about the telethon. Ask us all to remember that we're here and we're wanting everyone to participate with the telethon. Any questions you may have, any information you need, please by all means go to cwsc.us or dial 910-317-0297 or email us info@cwsc.us. And again, 50 states strong, with the Lord's name, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer. We trust and we put our trust in Allah. We believe in Allah and we believe Allah. Allah is the one, the only, the absolute, the eternal, and more. Nothing is in comparison with Allah. 50 years ahead, planning, 50 states strong. That means the best resource there is, the most excellent resource is the human resource. Telethon on American Muslim 360, November 30th through December 6th. Please come one, come all, share. Come on by way of Zoom, and the Zoom information. The ID number is 883-5132-3231, and the passcode is the number 8, capital T, capital L, capital R, capital A, and the number 7. Use the same ID as you dial in 305-224-1968. Use the same ID number, 883-5132-3231, but the passcode is 919733#. AM 360, CWSC AM 360 is calling you. There's and please, by all means, donations in to CWSC Inc. at 4905 34th Street South, number 185, St. Petersburg, Florida, 33711. Go to cwsc.us for more information. Call 910-317-0297. And now we present to you Imam Abdul Shaheed. Assalamu alaikum, Imam.
Walaikum salam. Happy
Alhamdulillah,
telethon to you.
I'm making you host, and I'm out. Over to you.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. We give all the praises and the thanks to the Almighty Source Creator, the Creator of everything. Brothers and sisters, we were created that make us part of the creation. The rules and laws that govern the creation also governs our anatomy and physiology, our body. Those same rules, those same laws, the rules of health, the natural law, the universal law, the laws of physics, all of them govern our anatomy and physiology. These are the laws and the rules that govern the universe, that governs the universe. So, brothers and sisters, we welcome you to a new episode of Optimal Health. We give you the greetings of peace. Assalamu alaikum, peace be unto you. And
Alaikum assalam.
we pray that you take a moment to call someone to let them know that we're starting our program here on Optimal Health on AM 360. That it'll be excellent for you to be here with us. Be absolutely amazing for them to be here with us as well. So you don't have to tell them what you heard. They can hear it for themselves. What is optimal health? Brothers and sisters, the Almighty have created us in such a way we can fortify our system, all 11 of them. We can fortify our blood, fortify our DNA. This is what we're able to do. But we can't do it not knowing what we're made of, who we are, what we are, and where we are. All of those three questions must be answered in order to have the best health, which means our body will be at its best, so we can do what the Almighty have gifted us to do. The reason why He sent us here. And it's absolutely correct. We say remake the world. That's why we're here, to remake the world, to make the world a better place. But we can't do it if we're not producing neurons and neurotransmitter, all 12 of them, and producing billions of neurons every day. This is what controls human beings. The world is in a mess because no one is teaching people how to produce neurons and neurotransmitters to be human. We're the intersection between the seen and the unseen. This is what we are, the seen and the unseen. Now we are gaining the necessary knowledge that we should have when we started out in the very beginning. But mankind went off in the wrong direction. This is what happened, brothers and sisters. This is exactly what happened. So we welcome you to a new episode of Optimal Health on AM 360. We thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us today. And we're in the midst of our telethon. And we're going to share some information about that before we get started here. We're going to see if we can share our screen. One more time, we have something to share with you as we talk about the telethon that we're part of. Let's see if I can find it. There it is. Okay. The Community-Wide Shura Conference and AM360 annual end of the year telethon. And we'd like for you to participate. All our guests and listeners and our audience that's participating with us every week. We could not have this program if it had not been for the foresight of the people that organized Community-Wide Shura Conference. And they're still here to keep it going. And our parent company. So at the end of the year coming to an end, people think about giving and helping others, doing something to establish themselves and others. So we have this telethon every year, and we're asking you to participate. Thank you for your support for the CWSC annual end of the year telethon to help us financially secure our intelligence operations. We are believer supported. We believe in what we're doing, and we're supporting what we're doing. Now we're asking for your support so we can continue to have programs like Optimal Health on AM360. There's no other place you can get the information that we're sharing here on AM360 like we're doing right now. There's no other place you can go to get the information about health and dispel many of the misinformation that's in social media. They're being put forth by different practitioners. No other place you'll be able to go to get this information. I already know this because I'm a seeker of information. I go on the internet, social media, I hear what they're saying, and much of what they're saying is just bogus. I'm sorry. You would not get your health. You'd be compromised even further. So we're asking you to help us so we can support what we're doing, all our programs, various programs, many different programs that we have to remake the world. So you, me, all of us combined, that's why the Almighty sent us here, to make a difference. To make a difference, not to come here just to lollygag around, but we have to be at our best if we're going to do the job. The Almighty created a perfect human being. It is we who make mistakes. Now we have a science called symptomatic science that's helping us to correct them. And we have the program here on Optimal Health on AM360, Community-Wide Shura Conference, our parent company. So we'd like to ask our guests and audience to take a moment now and help us reach our goal, which is $25,000. $25,000. There are people out here who produce that in matters of minutes. In a matter of hours, they've raised millions. In a matter of 24 hours, they can raise $1 billion. Surely we have enough power to raise $25,000 between this telethon time. We started yesterday, one for a week. Started yesterday. So we're asking for your support for us to reach our goal, $25,000, by making your tax deductible contribution. You can go to CWSC.us, click on the blue donate button located at the top right of our homepage to make a convenient, safe, and secure contribution online in whatever amount is comfortable for you. It is not the size of the contribution, but it is each of us doing our own part to the best of our ability. That's all it takes. That's why we're all here. And that's the difference that we can make on this planet. Each one of us doing our own part, doing the best that we can, working together to remake the world. We have the ability to do that already. So we're appealing to our audience, we're appealing to our guests, family members, all these people, we're appealing to them. You can make an online, a one-time or recurring contribution, which enable us to better forecast our operating revenues and know we have your support each month to maintain and expand operation, to keep this going, to do more, to become better, to become more efficient, to become more of an expert, not depending on others. This is what the community is all about. We have the resources in the people that make up the community. Now we're appealing to you to share the resources with us, to make a donation. It's real simple. A one-time donation or a recurrent donation. If you have any difficulty at all making your gift, you can call 910-317-0297, and a representative would be happy to assist you. You can also go to paypal.com to make a payment by credit card to CWSC. Real simple and convenient. Just choose the way you want to do it. Our most popular recurrent giving level is just $9.99 monthly. That breaks down to 33 cents a day. 33 cents a day. What do you spend on 33 cents a day? It's amazing how money leave our hand and working for others rather than working for our own community. Now we're making this appeal. It is a small individual amount based on all of us doing our part to ensure our intelligentsia is strong and ready to remake the world. This is what we have to do. We have to have more programs like Optimal Health to help people have the best brain, produce the best mind, to be making excellent choices. We're offering that right here on this program, brothers and sisters, but we need your support. We need your support. A recording contribution means the monthly amount is automatically deducted from your designated account to CWSC. You can cancel at any time. And of course, while your contributions are tax deductible, it is the multiplied blessing of charity, especially during this month, that gives the greatest reward for our generosity. You can also call in your gift by phone at 910-317-0297 and tell us your name, your telephone number, and your email, and a representative will assist you with making your contribution. If you would like to mail in a gift, make your check and money order payable to CWSC and mail it to CWSC, Marina Village, 4905 34th Street South, number 185, St. Petersburg, Florida. And that zip is 33711-4511. Your contribution help us support our entire intelligentsia, including the AM 360 Broadcasting Network that we're broadcasting on right now. Right now. And these programs are preserved and saved on YouTube. You can go there at your convenience and listen and re-listen and share the video with others. You can ask people to go there and listen, build up our listenership and members. There's so much we can do for ourselves nowadays, brothers and sisters, with the convenience of technology. So we're asking for your support. With Speakers Bureau, Online National Resource Directory, Volunteer Human Resource Network, Think Tank, College Scholarship Program, Learning Lab, Interfaith and Interface Collaboratives, Internship and Leadership Development Program, Ambassador Program, International Collaborative, Health, which is what we're talking about, educational and financial literacy. We have to have these experts come before us to share the knowledge so we can do better in our community. That's what it's all about, brothers and sisters. We have all of these various programs, and we're now asking for your help and support. And I hope you can make your tax-deductible donation. And I hope we encourage you enough to be able to do that. We thank you so very much, brothers and sisters. We'll be making that announcement throughout our program. And we have Sister Martha here. We'll be asking her to also continue to share the information about the telethon here on our program throughout the program today. We thank you so very much. I'm going to stop sharing that at the moment. So brothers and sisters, if you have any question about the telethon and making your contribution to help us to reach our goal, which is $25,000. Each one of us doing our part, we'll reach that goal in no time. Thank you so very much. And thank you for joining us here today on Optimal Health on AM 360. Brothers and sisters, when it comes to our health, we must always understand it takes knowledge to not to get sick. We're not supposed to get sick. It's absolutely amazing how the Almighty created a human being. He created us in a perfect manner for us not to get sick. Brothers and sisters, what do you mean not to get sick, Brother Abdul? The Almighty gifted us with everything we need to stay healthy, even though the planet that we live on is very predatory, toxic, and adversary. It's toxic, brothers and sisters, and we have not been taught life skills to navigate this place. No one has taught us life skills. We all just mess up. The fact of the matter is that we headed out in the very beginning, mankind, in the wrong direction. And we've been headed in the wrong direction for 3.8 million years. At some point in time, we have to turn around and figure out where we made the mistake. We're not supposed to have a disease because the Almighty gifted us with genes that release the blueprint to synthesize protein. With the genetic code for everything to maintain normalcy. That's a rule in the creation. We must always maintain normalcy. The Muslim call it the fitra, Din al-Fitra, which is our way of life. We're supposed to be in agreement with the creation, the fitra, the pattern that the Almighty Creator placed in the creation for us to learn from. We're supposed to be always in compliance with those patterns. But since no one is teaching us life skill, but one place I know called the American School of Symptometry, teaching us life skill, how to live on this planet without a disease, so you can be always at your best, always being alert and aware and paying attention, not letting anything escape you or go over your head. We're made of cells, brothers and sisters. We have therapeutic that people make use of, have forgotten the cell. They don't think nothing of the cell. They ignore the cells. That's why we're sick. We ignored our cell. It's not that the planet is toxic, predatory, and adversary. That is true. But if we keep our cells in good repair, they have the ability to self-correct, self-cleanse, self-regulate, recalibrate, and self-perpetuate, which means they're able to keep going and keep going and keep going. So we will have normalcy until something that we did happened. Something happened to us. We made a mistake. We ate the wrong food. That's consumption. And number two, we expose ourselves to something. Consumption, exposure, and then we had an accident. Most of the time, 98% of the time, 95% of the time, is what we are eating and drinking, brothers and sisters, that impact our health. We think we can eat anything without producing enzyme to break down what we're eating. And no one even thinking about the enzyme when you put something in your mouth. Oh, do I have the enzyme to digest this? How many enzymes to take to digest it? Nobody thinks like that. That's why we have this problem. We eat food without having the ability to produce the enzyme because we're deactivating the enzyme based on what we're eating, what we're drinking, what we're exposed to. It would deactivate the enzyme, make them worthless so they don't work. We have to understand enzyme, brothers and sisters. That's the first work tool that our body produces. Our cell produces the enzyme. You can't go to the health food store, go run to the doctor and say, doctor, I need some enzyme. I'm running low. Not how it works. The Almighty put everything in us. The system that created us do everything for us. We have to take care of the system, starting with the cell, the nucleus of the cell, and our blood. We ignore all of that. This is why we're stuck where we are, brothers and sisters. And the collagen that we're made of, we made of collagen, that's human protein. The collagen that we're made of is being produced by our cell, low-grade quality, low-grade collagen. They can't do what high-grade collagen can do. It is because of our exposure, our consumption, and accident and thing that we have on this planet. And no one is helping us. But one place called the American School of Symptometry. only one place. Brothers and sisters, we had a topic that we want to discuss with you. And that topic is, why can't some women conceive? Isn't that amazing topic? Everything that we do, brothers and sisters, must include our young people. It must include the generation coming after us. We're that generation that must get it straight this time. We must get it correct. This is the responsibility, I think, of the current generation. We, people who were born during what the so-called baby boomer, we're in the 60s, 70s, 75, 80, those people that's retired, have retired or retiring now. In our community, brothers and sisters, if we don't get it straight now, we can just rack it up. We can hang it up. And everything starts with our health. I don't care what field of endeavor we engage in. If your brain is off, forget it. If you can't produce neuron, forget it. You can't produce neurotransmitter, forget it. You're gonna be making mistake after mistakes after mistake. That's why we're in this mess. And you won't have the benefit of being human. You'll be abused. People will take advantage of you. You won't be able to see through things, analyze, understand, diagram, and break down things. Won't be able to do it. Strategize. All the things that we talk about on this program with CWSC in America, AM 360, American Muslim 360, all the things that we talk about, we need a perfect human being to be engaged in them. But nobody's talking about health of the human being. The person, the member, the family member, the community member, the national member. It is people that make up this place, this universe, this nation, this world. People. We have to think about this. We can solve the problem with crime overnight if people took care of their brain, know how to nourish it, remove the calcification, strengthen the capillary that nourish the brain with oxygenated blood. We can shut down the jails overnight. If people start doing that, that's what it takes to be human, brothers and sisters, producing neurotransmitter to make excellent choices. So you won't be making choices that will get you locked up. You won't be threatening people, abusing them, taking advantage of people, preying on the weak, because you have a conscience. You have to produce neurotransmitter to have a conscience, brothers and sisters. Without those things, a human being is reduced to the lowest of the low. They're capable of doing anything. And the most dangerous predator would be someone walking on two legs, look like you and me. Would be the most dangerous predator. So we have to teach our mothers life skills to teach the children before they even get here. You got to be ready. What did the mother eat while she was going through gestation? Those 3 trimesters. What is she eating? What is she drinking? What is she being exposed to? What is the quality of her lifestyle? Is she being threatened every day at home? Is she being abused, victimized, taken advantage of at home? How are you going to have a perfect baby going through those things? What was her lifestyle? Was she an alcoholic? Did she smoke cigarette? Did she do marijuana, cocaine? How are you going to have a perfect baby? Who's the father? Did he have weak sperm because he smoked marijuana? Or did he have strong, healthy sperm? Releasing the blueprint for a healthy child. Or was the DNA contaminated? These are questions nobody have ever asked us. And then when the baby gets here, what are you teaching the baby? You just send them off to school and don't even have the skill to deal with a bully? Brothers and sisters, these are fundamental things that we have to be corrected on. How the child is to take care of himself when they leave home. You're equipping them with knowing what food to eat, what food to avoid. They go to school, they drink milk, they eat cheese, all of the dairy product, butter, margarine, all these things, nuts and seed, a perfect setup to be a sick child and a sick adolescent and a sick teenager and eventually a sick adult that various institutions will take advantage of. And that's what's been happening to us, brother and sister. That's what's been happening to us. So we have this topic. We're going to start at the beginning. Before birth, preparing the mother for birth. But many women cannot even conceive because of their chaotic situation, chaotic lifestyle. And those who are fortunate, they can spend thousands of dollars, $60,000, $70,000, and still come up a loser. Still can't have a baby. Come to Centometry and spend a fraction of that within a few months, pregnant. Pregnant. What do Centometry know that these other practitioners do not know? Know about the cells. They ignore the cell. They never think about the cells at all. I'm going to show the diagram of the cells for while I'm talking. You can be studying the cell. Absolutely amazing that we're all made up. We're made of cells, brothers and sisters. Everything made of cells. Microorganisms made of cells. There's a diagram of the cell. I'm sharing my screen now. I'm sure you're able to see that. And we thank you for joining us today here on Optimal Health on AM 360. You with your host, Abdul Shaheed, a certified Centometry health coach, the instructor at the American School of Centometry and Centometry 101, the foundational courses at the American School of Centometry. And it's a pleasure to be able to make that, pass that milestone to become an instructor under the tutelage of Dr. Maxwell Naughty. I mean, it's difficult to have that title of certified Centometry health coach. It's not easy. It's a difficult task. If you ever become a part of or a student at American School of Centometry, you begin to know that. You'll know that. You'll learn that. It's very, very challenging and difficult. In every class you take, you must achieve the level of 92% or better. That's no B's and C's, brothers and sisters, at the American School of Centometry. You can only make A. You have to make the A, or you keep repeating. You think A minus is good enough, or B or C is good enough, like at other institutions? Well, you'd be making a big mistake. You have to make 92% or better in every subject, even as a certified Centometry health coach. 92% or better. And it's all about taking care of the needs of our cells. We're made of cells, brothers and sisters, trillion of them. Trillion, 40 to 50 trillion cells. In the cells, you see a nucleus. This purple area, you see cell, nucleus. So while we talk about why can't some women conceive, I'm going to have this up. If you have questions, you can ask questions along the way. Just raise your hand, and we'll take a moment to address your question, concern. If you have any question about the telethon, we'll be talking about it. Ask our sister Martha to share some more information about the telethon in the next few minutes. But in the meantime, there's a question. Why don't some women want to conceive? Not only can they not conceive, some women don't want to conceive because of their experience from their mother and their relative. They've seen so much difficulty and so much pain. Who would want to have a baby? But brothers and sisters, we bring it to our attention, your attention, as well as mine. Keep being reminded, it's not supposed to be like that. Even though that's the way it is. You're not supposed to have all that suffering and pain. You're not supposed to be in labor for 24 hours, 14 hours, 10 hours, all these things. They make it so difficult. No, a few minutes. That's it. The baby's here. Especially if you're prepared and the baby's prepared and you've done everything like you're supposed to. See, at the American School of Symptomatic Science, there's a program called Pregnancy Management Program. So the mother engages in the pregnancy management program. She has the energy and the power and the pressure and the speed, the momentum to deliver that baby. And the baby also have the same thing. 10 or 15 minutes in labor, 20 minutes at the max. The baby is here. A perfect baby. Because we're giving the cell what they need to build the baby. That's what it's all about, brothers and sisters. Why can't some women conceive? Why can't the woman who have conceived before conceive again? There are women who conceived before, had a baby before, but they can't have one now. Why? And there's the fear of pregnancy and the excruciating pain accompanied with it, tribulation and suffering. We make that part of our religion. You're supposed to suffer to have a baby. No. Isn't that amazing how people take religion and they use it really against it? Well, that's supposed to happen. You're supposed to come into life like that. No, you're not. It's abnormal, brother and sister. The Almighty, and they blame it on the Almighty Creator. They blame everything on the Creator when we are the one that making the mistakes. We have to get it straight, brothers and sisters. We have to get it right. We are a responsible party. We are responsible for ourselves and ourselves. See how that sounds similar? Selves and self? We are the responsible party. That's how it works. So people fear getting pregnant because all of the accompanying things that go along with enduring during childbirth and thereafter. And so frightening that they considered dying childless. Many women considered to die without having a child. Even though we love to have one, but they was considered dying first before having a child. Rather than going through what their mother experienced. Isn't that amazing? How we live, how we learn from just looking at other people, not what they say, what we're watching and what we're looking at. You can say anything you want. Oh, it's easy to have a baby and this and that, but you see the suffering and the pain on the person. The hollering and the screaming. It's not supposed to be like that, brothers and sisters. This is one person, including Dr. Noor, that make two of us. We're saying that's not how it's supposed to be. Something's going wrong here. You get this gift of life, and you're able to give life to help deliver life into the creation here. You have that power, that gift. Not supposed to be like that. Well, you have women now hate to have a baby, don't want to conceive. Absolutely amazing. To others, childlessness is a stain that is so indelible that it will haunt them until they die. Fueling periodic frustration, anger, solitude, and depression. Depression, because they could never have a baby. They become depressed. They could be filthy rich, but not having achieved having a child, they don't feel good about themselves. They can reach the pinnacle of politics, the financial institution, the academics, and all these things. They will still feel unfulfilled if they never had a child, if they never had a baby, because it's in them to produce life, brothers and sisters. The Almighty did not make a mistake. Our mother has the ability to bring life into this existence that we're in, even though it could be difficult sometimes. It's only because we don't have all of the facts. And the people that's in control, they're keeping all the knowledge to themselves. To the point where they don't know what they need to know. So how can you restrict somebody else from learning without restricting your own learning ability? That's what's happening. That is what's happening, brothers and sisters. the pain associated with childbirth of what seal womanhood. Then they give life to a human being is the most incredible honor a woman can receive from the Creator. Absolutely amazing. A mother that go through all the pain and suffering, and soon that baby arrives, she forget all about the pain and the suffering. When she see that child, when she see that baby, when she get a chance to hold the baby, she forget about all that. All that just went out the window. And even the baby would never have any remembrance of what experience it went through to get here. Absolutely amazing. Amazing Creator that put all this into existence. Without mothers, and this is what we have to know, brothers and sisters, we take it for granted. So much we take for granted. Without mother, there would be no population. There would be none of us running around without a woman, without a mother. Isn't that amazing? We have all these people that want to be in power, in control. But they got here through a woman. And they give her the least respect. So much for us to learn, brothers and sisters. The higher the head count on a population, the greater the traction that propels the Creator to a higher level. This is our part that we play. We represent the traction for the expansion of the universe. That's why we're here, brothers and sisters. We represent the traction for expansion of the universe. That's why the Almighty have us here. Because of our creativity, our ingenuity, our imagination. So we have a lot that we have to overcome because we're not at our best. This has been the problem. So brothers and sisters, we hope you're following us, explaining why some women cannot conceive. And we're going to answer that question, but first we're going to take a moment. And we have Sister Martha Abdullah. I'm going to ask her to share a couple more words about the telethon, if she can come on and do that for us. I got it all started, so I hope she can feel comfortable coming in and sharing a little bit more about the telethon to our listening and audience and guests energized here.
And I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. It's always a lesson we're never too, I'm not going to say too old to learn.
Never too young to learn. Put it like that. Never too young to learn. You're frozen, Sister Martha.
Or you and Sherry.
Just me or what? Now we can hear you.
Okay. The idea of learning is always present with us. And thank Allah for this opportunity, whatever age we are, that we're able to understand that we are equipped with the ability to do it. And spiritually, we reflect on it, but imparting that and actually living it out and understanding that we see our hair grow, we see our nails grow, we see our toenails grow, fingernails, we see our bones extend without any pain, but it happens. So likewise now, I'm going to take you over to CWSC, everyone, and say that too started with the nucleus of thought.
Yes.
And came into fruition to be an actual realized experience. You don't see the building, and it doesn't take much imagination, but you can see the reality of people being a natural resource that Almighty God has created, physically being here that in order to move, be transport from one place to another physically, but we can transport our thinking. And praise be to Allah for that, the healthiness of that goes along with it. I'm going to take you to CWSC, straight to the point. And right here, Imam, you see this? Oh, let me share my screen if I may. Yes, okay, I'm able to do so. And let me ask you, do you see what I have here on the board? Can you see it, Imam?
I'm sorry. Yes, I can see it. I have myself muted. Yeah, I
Oh,
see it.
okay.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yes. And this probably looks like everybody's checkbook, right?
That's right. Yes, it does. Pretty, pretty close to mine.
It becomes a reality. It's one thing to say, oh, well, we do this and this and this, but to see it logistically, we're talking 2020. See that date?
Yes.
And we go on up further. This is a ledger, everyone, that we have to be not only a fiduciary sound, conscientious, but take into put into an account, but take into account monies that's being shared from someone's heart, an hour of work or an hour of receiving what is constituted as our revenue in our own hands. That's a big extension of trust coming from one person to another, and them deposit this money by your request and by the trust that you are saying and will do with what you need to do, but it's all for the purpose of establishing and concreting a foundation that says we're going to be helping others. Well, let's see if that pans out here. And we take the good with the not so good. I'm not going to say bad. We take the good with the not so good. Yes, mistakes happen. But if you see here at the beginning, prior to our account here with Chase, and you don't see any account numbers, and we're not going to show you that, but alhamdulillah, routing is fine, but not account. But the idea of Chase, we come from Bank of America over to Chase. And in order to do that, we had to establish that account. And that was, you see the date? December 28th,
Wow.
2017. It takes me way back.
I'm sure it does.
And we transferred dollars from, and I don't mind sharing because transparency is everything. We transferred this figure. That means individuals have shared those figures, that amount. We opened the account with 25, transferred the 22,000, almost 23,000. Then it begins. What did we say we wanted to do? Let's see here. Okay, we're going to start non-chase. Okay, that's ATMs. Well, there was a reversal. We want to get to some of the funds that we sent out. This is where Blog Talk in 2018, it was already established, but we were paying Blog Talk, it's $99 a month, but that equates to almost 1,200 at 1,200, yes, at the end of the year. Malala Fund, you remember the young lady who was shot in the head?
Right.
We began to distribute. We had to make the monies distributable to many organizations. So this is where we started the Imani Fund. There was an account that we were responsible for. I'll leave that there. Blog Talk. You'll see the repetition. Then we had GoDaddy. You know, that's that office material with the phones and what do you do with the Google Calendar and all that. Okay. Let's see, Blog Talk. Carter's Florist. That was with and we're talking about helping responding to those who unfortunately they had family members to transition. All right, so AM360s, GoDaddy, computer purchase. I'm just going to give the generalization. You can see Famaco purchase. I don't know if you remember when we had the 2019 calendar for 2020. It was a 2020 calendar. We were thrusting on the thrust for AM360s recognition 2020, coming from 2010 to a 10-year celebration. So we started that celebration. Well, of course, you had to pay certain things to have it happen. Regulation of regular blog talk payout. Then we had deposit, different people depositing, sending in money. We set up our UPS account because we didn't want a physical building that would be adding, I won't say misery, but it would be putting the cart before the horse.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we continue. Trademark is what I wanted to get to. We decided to trademark AM 360. That was one portion for one particular item, which wound up being like 4 or 5 items of the trademark that began the process. Then we had other deposits. We thank a lot for those who really were continuing to send in their trusting dollars to allow us to be the stewards of. I don't know why my screen won't open up a little wider here, but we'll deal with it. All right. Doctors Without Borders. You see the
Wow.
Malala Fund, the Imani Fund, now Doctors Without Borders. There's another several organizations, depositors. Oh, the Computer for Corporation Secretary. Masjid and Noor is a regular one that started in 2019, sending in monies for both CWSC and 360. And we said, wow, that's Masjid and Noor. They are located way up, I think, in New Jersey, if I'm not sure, not mistaken. Okay, we went through a process there of fraud. I never knew that people could get your information. I didn't know that. And it occurred, everyone. So you do have to be mindful of your accounts, to corporation and personal.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's get here. Amazon. When we sell when individuals purchase a book, an author's book, we do it through Amazon and we get a credit for that. Or we get a charge, of course. That was a $5 credit, but all $5 add up.
Absolutely.
Then we go to Network for Good with sending in donations. Those are all donations. I want to get to. Okay. This is, Muslim Journal. Come into there. GoDaddy again, Office Max. This was during the getting preparations for the 2020 celebratory time where we went on the cruise and individuals they were very much in accord with going on a cruise. And so we promoted that during 2020. UPS, the office space. Vista Print is a print company. Alliance, here we go with insurance. 751. And, a lot of times you don't necessarily have to say that you have insurance, but some individuals, I was told, they love to know that board of directors are insured against liabilities. Vista Print, and those are unspoken things that occur with a directorship that you just see board of directors and you think of it like a club. I mean, when you think of an organization. All right, document copies. Here's another insurance. 1154. That was for slander for the hosts. That would be charged, the host being charged with slander. Yes. National Pen, that means everybody got a pen. Pan America, their Pan Africa, Pan America Defense Fund. They're, I think, in Africa. United Mission for Relief, the Malala Trust Fund again. World Resource Institute in DC. prevent child abuse. We did a trophy crown. We did acknowledgments of those who were working with CWSC, AM 360, Office Depot. I'm taking through this particular process so that we can have an idea and at the same time see how the ledger is kept and is still being maintained. And as best as we were, let's see, this is North Carolina State or organization fee. I want to get to the part where this is up to 2020. Now, when we got to 2021, I became the executive director in 2020. Mukhtar Muhammad had done such a fabulous expert job at creating the website, creating the electronic model community national resource directory. We were doing it by paper. One individuals registering and we maintaining those papers. Then come in 2016, the electronic model community national resource directory, where volunteers can electronically register, put their expertise in, when is their best time to be, and you went through the process too.
Yes.
Imam.
You did.
And but what we found was a gap where the gap is in the connection is having a process in place whereby we stay in connection and communication with individuals who register on a 3-month basis rather than letting it go dormant for a long period of time. And then information changes. Now we're in a deeper loop. So that's where we are in asking individuals who want to make phone calls, please, please, please come forward. Dial us at 910-317-0297. Help Depreetha Abdul Hadi, the director. She's a great facilitator. She just wants to know that you're willing to help. Then she can share a list of phone numbers, name and phone numbers. You just give them the call, asking is their information still the same, and asking them to re-register because at some point, rather than trying to go into the files and change everything, it's easier just to redo. So alhamdulillah, I've done that myself. WordPress is our website. That's usually $300 a month. A year, excuse me. But all of this adds up. Now, strategic planning. This is where we began this what year? 2021, where we met in person. And I think, yes, you were present at the American Muslim 360 strategic planning back in 2019.
Yes.
And that was documented. I wasn't able to make it, but it was handled, and praise be to Allah. So the expenses that went to that, everything was, it was paid for. We had to go through some processes, but it was paid for by CWSC. Likewise with the strategic planning here, this included the preparation at a hotel and all of the amenities that we needed, such as the use of the whole, I can't even think of the screen and the microphone.
Or your visual aids.
Yes, those things. And I'll be through here in just a moment. Continue with strategic. So that means we had to think of flights and everyone coming from different states. And I tell you, Latifa Hameen and we were very strategic with it. We had to do it timely and financially, what's the word? Conscientious.
Absolutely.
And so many individuals came from as far as New York, Las Vegas, California, Texas, North Carolina, Philadelphia. We were able to meet in person in 2021 under the strategic planning. Then we get to 2022. Are we there yet? No, that's still 2021. We get to 2022, and we realized in 2021 we were there 3 days, and we went to the masjid and we went on a tour, historical tour. Uh, a lot to say about Dr. Aisha and her family history, location in Texas. We went there. Now we get to 2022. We recognize 5 days, more persons, and to St. Petersburg, Florida, not Texas. Let's see, this one is gone out. So I'll just end with the conversation on that because I clicked on the wrong ledger then that it should go to 2022. But anyway, what we're showing everyone is that we do share with organizations that are in need, and we didn't show the shelters here, the pantries, the and new or other new organizations, and then Islamic centers or museums, and the Muhammad Ali gym, or what is that, the center, along with the strategic planning for the directors of CWSC and the CEO of AM360 and the senior management team. And we come to realize that it will take at least 15,000. Now that's before putting on the cost of living raises aligned with that since 2022. But in 2022, we began with the board, at least the board members, physically going to locations that events are occurring, and that included Miami, New York, Philadelphia, New Jersey, on the East Coast. Others we've been doing virtually, but we got a sense of that, what it will cost, because we understand that everything may cost, but at the same time, we wanted to keep a balance in the account, and we wanted to maintain a certain percentage that we send to organizations. But where we found that we had a deficit in our thinking, and I said a deficit, is because we began to send. You saw the $50 here, $100 there, 150 up to 250. We began to get brave enough and send 400, 500 to any one organization, and Camp Khalil and Muslim Culture Khan and Study Al Islam and other organizations ongoing to Graceline, and so we realized, okay, we can't do that. We have to see that everyone takes the part in it, sending $50 here, the more the merrier. Oh, and then 100 at 50. Actually, we have to get back to doing that. So, alhamdulillah, this is why we're saying that our amount is 25,000 that we're requesting, so that we can plan 5 years from now and be able to compute an in-person meeting, but sporadically do the in-person situation with our board of directors. But we want all of our directors to have a sense of the 50 states strong. And we want all of the organizations to come in and connect with the telethon, so that then we can legitimately request 500,000, a million. And with the promotion of everyone, that's what we're wanting to convey this year, is all organizations, look, when we work together, we work better, we're strengthened, we're more empowered, and we don't have to pay monies out to other situations whereby it's not going directly to our cause.
Absolutely.
I'll stop right there.
Amazing. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. We thank you so very much, Sister Martha, for sharing that with our audience about the telethon. And we're going to share our screen one more time, reminding our audience that this is the telethon. During this time, and we hope people go and make a donation, make that contribution. You already see, this is CWSC and American Muslim 360 annual end of the year telethon. So we can do more. We have this program, we're here, on Optimal Health on AM 360 because of this platform. We want to keep it going. So we're asking everyone to make their contribution so we can do even more, brothers and sisters. Together, we can do even more. So we're going to remind you about where you can go to make a contribution, and so you can continue to support the effort of CWSC and AM 360. Thank you so very much, Sister Martha, for sharing that with us. So we're going to continue to talk about health, and we're talking about today is why some women cannot conceive. Why some women cannot conceive. Absolutely amazing. So why can't women of childbearing age conceive? Have they been cast a spell on, or voodoo, or something? No, that's not the case. That's no spell cast on them. Are they terrible? So terrible that no child want to be coming through this life with them, through them? No, that's not necessarily the truth. Do they have at least one ovary? At least one. And the answer is yes. So let's discuss the ovary. All they need to have is at least one ovary. A cyst or several cysts in the ovary or in both ovaries is a significant female problem. Instead of calling symptometry to address the cyst problem, many women prefer surgery. And what a big mistake or silly mistake they will be making. Many women are talking having surgery. It's amazing. And Dr. Maxwell Norton said he would be hard-pressed to find a woman who has undergone ovarian surgery to conceive. He'd be hard-pressed to find one after undergoing surgery to be able to conceive. And he's answered the question, why? Surgeons inflict more damage on the ovary and they leave scar tissue in the ovaries. No surgeon can deny what he just said. Now, this is what happened. But yet still, you're going to use surgery. Absolutely amazing. It would make matters even worse, brothers and sisters. Make matters worse. You're not taking care of the needs of the cell. Polycystic ovarian syndrome falls right onto symptometry lap. This is what happened. We are the expert, symptometry expert. There's nothing that a gynecology or physician can do about it. Ovulation problem. Hyperprolactin, where the woman overproduces hormone, estrogen, progesterone, and prolactin, etc. Why is the woman overproducing hormone? The simple answer is that her hormone-producing glands are massively congested, and only symptometry can clear up the debris and the blockage in them. Only symptometry. No physician, no herbalist, no chiropractor, none of these therapeutics. Chinese traditional medicine, eating for your blood type, all these things, none of them would work. As long as garbage is in her glands, the right amount of hormone will never be produced. And there's nothing a gynecology or physician can do about it. Absolutely nothing. They can talk you into doing surgery, but we already demonstrated it makes matters worse. When women have this problem, want to have a child, they use IVF, intravenous fertilization, and they fail miserably after spending up to $65,000. $65,000. The same woman came to symptometry and were able to conceive. And what did she spend during the process? $2,000. 65,000, 2,000. And people still think symptometry is too expensive. I don't know what world they're living in. And there are still people who think symptometry is too expensive. Everybody can afford it. You can afford not to have symptometry. You can afford not to take care of the needs of the cell. IVF is only helpful under certain circumstances. There's also the issue within the fallopian tube. So let's discuss the fallopian tube. Once the ovary releases the egg, the sperm must fertilize it in the fallopian tube, and the zygote would then travel down and enter the uterus. Are there bumps in the fallopian tube? Yes, there are. And that's when the egg would not continue further. The zygote would not continue down the fallopian tube. There's a bump there, preventing it. And we already know what kind of pregnancy that would be. Ectopic pregnancy, where the baby would be in the fallopian tube. And that's a life-threatening situation. The tube would rupture, causing the mother's instant death. And this happens sometimes, brother and sister. And emergency surgery will be required to destroy the tube and the awkward pregnancies, leaving a woman with only one tube and one ovary at this time. Absolutely amazing, brother and sister. The next would be, are there any cysts in the ovary that's left? Unless symptometry level these cysts, the woman would not conceive again, no matter how hard she tried, and no matter how many bishops, how many imams, how many pastors prayed for her. It's not going to matter. She's not going to have a baby. It is over at that point. It's over at that point. And there's also the age factor. And finally, finding a suitable man. Is there a suitable man? You got to have a man to impregnate her. Does she want to be impregnated by a sick man with questionable or damaged sperm? I don't even think the woman even asked that question. We're not even interviewing the man. See how healthy he really is. Is he producing a healthy sperm? Strong, healthy sperm that can do the job based on his lifestyle, or are they weak sperm? There's a difference, brother and sister. People think they are healthy when they're really not healthy. And these are the problems we're all faced with. These are the problems. The sperm can be damaged. To show off as a pregnant woman, be very careful what you wish for. Many men can be as cantankerous as women. They can be as particular as women, many men. The cancer treatment problem that the woman had to be faced with. Has the woman undergone treatment for ovarian, uterine, or cervical cancer? If she has, it is over. The treatment option, we already know, poison everything, poison every cell in the body. It's over. She should never dream of becoming pregnant, ever. Why? We'll elaborate. Chemotherapy drugs leave alkyl, A-L-K-Y-L, in the body. And alkyl is an inert substance. That means it gets in the blood, it won't move. Slows the blood circulation down. It becomes an inert substance. Inertia means like a movement. It's not going to move. And that's what's in the chemotherapy drugs, vaccine, and other pharmaceuticals. Alkyl. Absolutely amazing. Who removes alkyl substance from a person after chemotherapy? Who removed them? No one except symptometry doctor will remove alkyl from the person's blood. So if the woman do not know about symptometry, there's nobody to remove them. The chemotherapy drugs from their system, from their blood. Absolutely amazing. What chances does the woman who underwent cancer treatment have to conceive? 0 or none. Not even with symptometry. Nothing is as painful as the truth I am sharing right now to our listeners. These are the truth. They can be taken advantage of. Intravenous and all these other things that somebody's telling them that they can do. They're just taking their money. Endometriosis. What about that? If the woman have endometriosis, the uterus comprised of 3 layers: the perimetrium, myometrium, and the endometrium. Never cut off cortisol from the endometrium, as doing so will allow inflammatory product to overrun the endometrium, potentially causing endometriosis. That's why the person have endometriosis. They block cortisol for circulating in the endometrium. A placenta will never develop ankle filament to attach itself to the uterine wall to secure itself when there is endometriosis. Therefore, expect failed attempt to conceive and serious miscarriages. What can the gynecologist do to end endometriosis and serious miscarriages? Nothing. This is symptometry territory. Absolutely amazing, brothers and sisters. Absolutely amazing. Either the woman comes to symptometry for assistance or kiss pregnancy, goodbye. It is over again. Regarding pregnancies, she's not going to become pregnant. What about fibroids? All these are conditions of men and women. They've had all these different conditions. And they went to the wrong therapeutics. They went to the wrong practitioner to get help. So what about fibroid? Fibroid are a significant obstacle to conception. The placenta can still implant itself in the uterine wall if the fibroids are small. But if they are too big, it won't, making it impossible for the woman to conceive. If she is tired, if she tried, rather, there will be a miscarriage. Can fibroid surgery improve a woman's chances of conceiving? Yes and no. It just depends. Yes and no, it depends. Absolutely amazing. Surgery leaves scar tissue, causing the slipperiness to make it difficult for the placenta to implant itself in the uterine wall or increase the woman's chances of miscarriages. Women who, after undergoing fibroid surgery, call symptometry for assistance, conceived and carried their baby full term. Why the difference? See, they came to symptometry and they got the help that they needed, and they were able to conceive and have a baby, carry the baby full term with the help of symptometry. Symptometry ionizes the scar tissues. The scar tissue will be like a blockage. Whenever there's surgery, when the person is cut, there's always scar tissue. That's nerves that's being cut. The nerve have to grow back into their shafts. Physician and gynecologist do not have that expertise. It is symptometry that have that expertise to help nerves grow back into their shafts after a surgery and level scar tissues. When none of them can do that. These are things that we have to know, brothers and sisters. These are things that we have to know. Secondly, it is ionizing the inert substance from the anesthesias, gases, or drugs that the person took when they underwent surgery. They took an anesthesia. The anesthesia will circulate into their blood until they die. Unless they come to symptometry, they have it ionized or removed. These are the facts. The person who performed the anesthesia, the anesthesiologist, he doesn't remove the effect of the anesthesia once the surgery is over. And this is wrong. The anesthesia drug will still be circulating in the person's blood. causing problems. If you ionize and get oxygen back into the person's blood, this can prevent stillbirth and many miscarriages. Here's the truth that most women are not aware of. Women would be better off 84% of the time with a symptometry doctor than with a physician or gynecologist when it comes to having a baby. The mother and the child would be better off, brothers and sisters. Millions of women worldwide regret not knowing about or not having symptometry. Absolutely amazing. Women vent their anger at him, at Dr. Naughty, by saying, "What were you at 20 years ago? What were you at 30 years ago? What were you at 40 years ago?" Dr. Naughty had to explain to them all the process he had to go through to figure things out. The process he had to go through. Now let's take a few minutes and talk about the man. Because most people, when the pregnancy doesn't go right, they blame the woman. In most instances, they blame the woman for not being able to have a baby. Well, that's not necessarily the case, brothers and sisters. Men, most boys grew up without a father, or their father was not home most of the time. And we all are familiar with this situation. Therefore, impregnating a woman and disappearing is not uncommon, since most men don't possess the reproductive genes of the penguin. Most men. Listen to me very carefully what I'm about to say. Most men do not possess the reproductive genes of a penguin, flamingo, or wolf, or jackal, or gorilla, and seahorse, and instead have the reproductive genes of bears, jaguar, and other big cats that leave the cub rearing to the cub's mother. That's an amazing thought. They often see nothing wrong with fathering a child and not being involved with that child's life. Go back to the genes. Absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, the Creator never made things easy for women to know whether the man they are in love with share reproductive gene with animals like flamingo, seahorses, or penguins, leaving them uncertain about what to expect from the man that they love, whether they're going to stick around or not. Isn't that something? Absolutely amazing. Another issue is stress. There are people who say stress is a killer. How does it affect a person's ability, a woman's ability to conceive? Stress. If the marriage is becoming too stressful for the man, he already has an escape plan. He already has an escape plan. He's not going to stick around. He would disappear, leaving the woman to raise the child by herself. This is nothing new. Who can tolerate stress? What woman can tolerate stress and pain? Men cannot. Women seem to tolerate more stress and pain than men. Men just can't seem like we can't handle pain at all, let alone stress. In other words, besides anatomically different, pain and stress separate male from female, brothers and sisters. Toleration of stress and pain separate men from women. Absolutely amazing. These facts are being brought out. And the final issue is the sperm, whether it's degraded or not. What level or what quality is the man's sperm in order to conceive? Men's degraded sperm Dr. Maxwell noticed that he had met women who are so desperate to have a baby that they are willing to get impregnated by any man who find them attractive. That is amazing, but this is true. Again, be careful of what you wish for. If the sperm used to make a zygote is mostly degraded, either the child will be born with an irreversible deformity or they will die in the womb. What kind of work does the man do? What is he exposed to? The chemical. Does he inhale toxic metal in the laboratory all day? Does he inhale pesticide, herbicide, fungicide, or rodent side as a pest control worker? Does he work in a manufacturer? Or he working testing chemicals? Does he work with petroleum refinery facility? And in what capacity? All the things that we're talking about, brothers and sisters, go right back to the cells that produce everything in the person. That's producing everything in the person. People who are aware of the damage that these chemicals inflict on the chromosome refuse to take such job, leaving them to people who say a job is a job. As long as I get paid, doesn't matter. It does matter what kind of job you take, brothers and sisters. Especially in this economy, especially in this country, it matters. We have to get smart about it. It matters what kind of job you have. It matters what kind of job you're taking on, what kind of risk you're taking towards your health, towards the cells you're made of, how you're jeopardizing them. There's more information that we need to know. More information we need to know. Are we aware of children born with cleft palate, missing toes, missing finger, extra finger or toes, blind, deaf, childhood cancer, missing legs, no legs at all, short arm, missing one ear, small head, large head, deformed heart, deformed kidney, deformed adrenal gland, aplastic anemia, and that list goes on and on and on, brothers and sisters. There's no shortage of such children in the children's hospital. All you gotta do is just go there. And we blame the Almighty. We don't blame ourselves. We don't blame ourselves. That we made the mistake. That the mother made the mistake of what she was eating during the time of gestation, what she was drinking during that time, what other chemicals she exposed herself to, was she going through morning sickness in the beginning every morning, not getting the help she needs. We think it's normal today. It's not normal. Something is wrong. The body is telling you something. And you go to a physician, you go to the gynecologist, you get no help, no information to reverse these conditions. A physician called all those different conditions birth defects and congenital deformity. Thereby, go again, giving high-sounding diagnostic words without bothering to find out the source that block gene expression that caused the problem in the first place. They give the woman no information, no insight. Just a bunch of big words. That's what happened, brothers and sisters. Out of complete ignorance and illiteracy, mothers blame God for what happened to their own body and their babies. Absolutely amazing. How are you going to blame God for what you did? What information you're not privileged to? Because we went to the wrong schools. We were educated wrong. No one taught us life skills, how to make it on this planet, brothers and sisters, how to be at our best, how to protect ourselves, how to protect ourselves, how to nourish them, how to remove the garbage, the sludge, the concretion. So we always at our best, how to get more oxygen to our brain so we make excellent choices, so we're not pressed into making irrational choices. How to make the correcting our mistakes and the mistakes of our parent. This is what our attitude has to be. Insecticide sprayed on fruits and nuts. Fruits with such insecticides are turned into jam, jelly, and marmalades, causing fruit lover to consume carcinogen, organophosphorus protein compounds. Then they wonder how they got cancer or why women can't get pregnant. We're exposed to everything, brother and sister, and we don't remove any of these things. Sometimes it has particularly to ionize these things from our blood, from our system, from our organ, from our tissue. This is what we have to do to protect ourselves, to have a healthy baby. Then now we have the alcoholic beverages. The doctors telling women it's okay to drink a little wine. When wine is alcohol, and alcohol deactivate enzyme. Brothers and sisters, they deactivate enzyme. For decades, physicians in Ireland have recommended pregnant women and nursing women to drink alcohol. Absolutely amazing. Talking about the health benefit, including iron and B vitamin. It turned out to be that it was untrue. Physicians lied once again. No alcoholic beverage has a health benefit for any human being. For any human being. Yes, Sister Martha, Assalamu alaikum. I see you got a go right ahead.
Yes, sir. When does it become a corporate ethical responsibility, such as the pipes that are laid, knowing that some pipes from years ago, as you say, that had lead, the paint that we use in homes that had lead,
Yes.
the arsenic in the water, that we're not making the decision to put it there. These are corporate decision makers. How do we align our responsibility to the degree at the doorway where corporate responsibility comes into the doorway ethically?
That's an excellent question, Sister Martha. And this is where the community have to come in and unite and hold people accountable. Our politicians, we just can't give our vote to just anyone. We have to be willing to demand something for our votes. In all of these polluting situations and chemical plants and all these things are mostly found in underprivileged areas. They can't fight back. They can't hire a lawyer. And if they hire one, they're not working for them. They're still working for the corporation. They can't put enough money together so the lawyer really represent them. These are the problems that people are faced with. So we're exposed to all of these different things you just mentioned. Well, see, we have an ace in our pocket. We can remove those things from our blood, even after being exposed to them. And this is what we have to learn. They're not going to suggest that we do that. This is the extra effort that we have to make. It's an individual choice when it comes to your health. Yeah, as a child, I might have drank some fluoridated water with lead, aluminum. Probably ate some chip paint on the wall that had lead in it. We have all these problems and difficulties we're faced with. But now, since knowing about those things, knowing better, we all have the opportunity to clean up our blood so we can become better. because those things will be still circulating in the person's blood until they die. They just won't go away, even though those people lied to us. And we have this idea, think once we're exposed to something, that it's just going to leave the body. No, it doesn't leave the body. It continues to accumulate as blood impurities. This is what scientists have discovered by using chromatography research and the realm of technology machine to analyze really what's going on in the person, what's going on in the food. The food industry. How are you going to grow food without using chemicals on it? How are you going to do that to prevent the pests from taking over? You can't. You have to use some kind of chemical to fight off the pests. People are experimenting with greenhouse effect, so you don't have to use the chemical as much. But now, sooner you get it to the supermarket, they're going to spray some preservative on it. So we're still up against natural chemical, man-made chemical. It's what knowledge do I have to protect myself? This is where particulate subatomic particle comes in to ionize all of the impurities that's in the food, that's in the air, that's in the water. We have no control over these corporations. They're not going to do what we say do. It's harder for us to get money together to pay a lawyer. But I can take particulates every morning to keep removing blood impurities. I can take molecules to nourish my cells with macronutrients and micronutrients. That's something that I can do for myself. That's what I'm doing. That's what my wife is doing. That's what Dr. Norton has been doing for decades now. And he was the sickest person in his family. Now he's the most healthy person on this planet. Thriving. Using his brain. Using his imagination, ingenuity, and advancing what Dr. Samuel Hahnemann started. How to reverse every disease. And he's still digging. He hasn't stopped. He's still digging for answer. Following the pattern. And that's what we can do, but we still can work together, band together, because we'll be producing more neurons, neurotransmitters, to get our politicians, make them accountable, hold them accountable. But if you're dealing with people who not have very little knowledge about how to do anything, community function, there's no motivation for people to come together because we've always been separated by something. Religion, politics, how we feel, how we think, how we look. Something's always separating us. But we produce neurotransmitters, it won't even matter. We'll get along much better with each other. We'll have conscience to treat each other with respect and dignity. This is what these chemicals that our own body produce, how they control human behavior. So this is the information and knowledge that we need to have. It's not so much what somebody's going to do for us, what we're going to do for ourselves. And the Almighty equipped us with genes that hold the blueprint. Now, they can release a contaminated blueprint, or they can release the one that the Almighty wants us to have.
Okay, thank you. My mind is thinking on the people that we share with pretty much, I'm speaking of outside in the general community where we're meeting and greeting and we see neighborhoods and we expect certain conditions to change.
Mm-hmm.
How that on a larger scale can connect with, because if the what has been happening has caused barriers, then the floodgate of this information has to reach, as a loss. I'm thinking of the lower river, the river going low, the information going low and reaching individuals, and how, them as they're wanting to walk and talk, but they don't realize that the sheetrock in the house is dangerous. That they don't realize that the water system is dangerous. They don't realize it, and they don't have. And so, as we share this information, and they come in contact with it, how do they get the reservoir, the pieces of it that they I don't know. A later conversation, inshallah, how to connect. And
It's a very difficult situation that we find ourselves in, but I think we can figure these things out much better if we begin to work on our health. You see, this is why health is so important, because if you don't have health, that means your brain will be affected by whatever disease you have. So it's thinking. And this is what the Almighty has asked us to do. Think, ponder, consider. See, our cell has all of these abilities. They can plan, they can strategize. This is what they do. This is what we should learn from our cells. They're able to strategize. They're able to figure things out. They're gifted with atomic intelligence. They are super intelligent. And that's what the human being is supposed to be, super intelligent. But we've been in this predicament, in this dungeon, and this vacuum for so long, we've forgotten who we are. See, it is the neurotransmitter that we produce that give us our consciousness. We have to know these facts. I didn't know them until I became a student at the American School of Symptometry. What is a human being? We take that for granted. Human being is controlled by chemicals, hormone, enzyme, neurotransmitter. That's what controls a human being. If you don't produce those things because of what you have in your blood circulating, you won't be human. You won't be able to think. You won't ask the right questions. We don't have the life skills to live on this planet, Sister Martha. This is the problem. We don't have the life skills to figure things out for ourselves. And then we were set at a disadvantage because of this experience we went through, they call slavery. We haven't gotten over that. We haven't gotten over that effect of those things. It's still on us today. This is the problem we're faced with. And it seems as though each generation gets farther and farther away from reality, what we need to be doing. It is because, I think, that we take our health for granted, like everyone else on the planet that's being controlled and abused and misused. If we focus on the health of our body, focus on the health of our brain, learn how to nourish ourselves and remove poison from ourselves, drinking the right water. If you have to buy bottled water, buy bottled water. Make enough money to invest in your health. If we don't do that, no one is going to correct these things for us. We have to somehow manage to make enough money. That word health and wealth, they go together. If you don't have health, you won't have wealth. If you don't have wealth, you won't have health. Because it does take amount of money, even though on the symptometry level, it still costs something. So the market right ahead.
And then I believe Bilal hand was up, I think, first.
I think that might be me.
Oh, yeah. Alaikum assalam. I apologize. You sounded like Bilal. I apologize.
Go right ahead, Brother Rashid.
All right. Assalamu alaikum to you all, especially Sister Martha.
Give me some help. Give me some help.
Alaikum assalam.
It's so nice to hear Martha on talking about the things that we need to talk about. It really is. Because it's about community development, building community life. But you said something key that I just couldn't hold back on. You said, so I think somebody mentioned something about self, and we forget self, take the F off, and it says what?
Sales. That's what I was saying. That's what I was self and sales. They sound similar.
Yeah, we have to understand the importance of taking care of ourselves so we can think and function in the manner which we do. And Martha, we have some programs that we're talking about doing called Association of Community Planning that I'm doing with some people. Actually, I talked to Brother Imam in DeLacy and Imam Shaheed Abdullah on it. We have to come together, work with the whole community. We have to follow that edict of what the Constitution of Medina. That Constitution, they work with Muslims, they work with Christians, and they work with whomever they had to work with to build community life. We can't do this by ourselves. So we have to reach out to the communities and also educate them about the four essentials. They call it the four birds: education, economics, politics, and what we call self-responsibility. And that's culture. You know, culture is a distinct social system. We don't have that yet, and we got to work on it. That's one of the things that Abdul Shaheed is talking about. How do we get to that point where we can be personally responsible for ourselves, however you want to say it? And in doing that, we have to educate not only ourselves, but we also have to educate our community so we can begin to work together. The old saying go, we took the U.S. out of the word trust. We got to put that U.S. back in the word trust. We're going to have to do it. You know, so that trust factor, working together in unity, is something that's sadly missed in our communities. And education will do that, allow us the economic opportunity. And economics is commerce. When you look at economics, we look at it the wrong way. It's commerce, it's being in business to generate the money so we can take care of our education. And at the same time, govern. When the word politics come out, I hate the word politics, but it's called governance. If we can govern with the rules and legislation and laws that go into our lives, we can transfer that information onto other people. Then taking that cultural and social responsibility, those are four birds. We don't realize what Imam Muhammad did for us. Those four essentials is the basic foundation for civilization.
Right.
You can't have one without the other. Those four essentials are so important, and we refer to them as the four birds. Well, that is civilization. That's building community life. So I look forward to continuing these type of educational opportunities and getting with you guys on AM 360 and CWSC, along with the financial end of it. You got Graceline, who's still working hard, and we have a group in Atlanta who's working hard on coming up with our own credit union. And we don't have to call it an Islamic credit union. All we got to do is call it a credit union.
Call it credit.
Yeah, with all the concepts of what the components are that we do, which is called ethical finance. That's what it's good. We have to get ethical about it and quit trying to separate ourselves from everybody else. And
Right.
I think we'll find a way to, inshallah, make this happen in the manner which we need to make happen. I didn't want to take up too much time, but y'all
Yeah, you
got
did
me
excellent,
excited.
excellent, Brother Rashid.
You got me all excited and stuff. I had to say something. I had to get
Well,
agreed to somebody.
let me add to what you were just sharing, if I may.
Mhm.
Uh, the the idea. I'm going to share this uh, picture here very briefly, Imam Abdul
Go right ahead. Go
Shaheed.
right ahead.
If you can see the format there, I mean, that's the Coliseum here in historical Coliseum here in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Mhm.
And that's where every year the Tampa Bay Area Muslim Association has
Yes.
aligned itself with the city of St. Petersburg. It's now called Citywide Iftar.
Oh yes. Yes, ma'am.
And the the
Excellent.
the, the idea we do, we're like Tampa Bay Area Muslim Association is so grounded, praise be to Allah, based upon
Alhamdulillah.
what you were just saying,
Mhm.
Rashid.
Mhm.
And now, one thing I saw missing, well, I say missing, you can always add on, improve upon,
Right.
and that is the when this was during Ramadan. Look at Wilmo Siddiqui. During Ramadan is when we don't, I mean, we intentionally reach out to those in need. That should
Right.
happen all the time, but
Yes.
we intentionally reach out to those in need. And I keep addressing to my own heart and soul. I say the houseless aren't in here.
That's right.
And I say, okay, so then since we have it already established, and instead of taking them the leftovers,
Mhm. Right.
that we establish a sound avenue whereby the neighborhood associations throughout the city, we began some educational platforms before this happened,
Absolutely.
before Ramadan, to
That's right.
incorporate what you were just saying. It
Right.
then puts us on a natural pattern of education on a
Yes.
9-month period platform. Now
Yes.
we can become more uniformly engaged because we're
Mhm.
all following that lunar cycle.
That's right.
Absolutely. Mm.
That's right. I mean, I agree with you
And that
100%.
way we can get the symptometry, the healthy information
Aspect.
to individuals. So when they come to iftar, now they understand how to get to that fitra, how to
Right,
return to that pattern.
right.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Absolutely. I agree with
Inshallah. That's what CWSC is working towards now, is to promote through the organizations.
you. Hmm.
Let's pivot ourselves to the incline of the ascension, prophetic ascension for our benefit,
Right.
and to the Hijra calendar, and
Hmm.
then go back into the community and put all the bolts, nuts and bolts together.
Absolutely. Well,
And pl-
I need you to send me over your email address. I want to send you this tour. Right now, it's a 5-city tour
And
on what we're trying to do. What we want to expand it, but we got to start someplace. Well, Florida is one of those cities, and the area that you're in right now is one of those cities that we want to come to because of what you have, the congruent relationship that you have not only with the Muslims but the Christians and the politicians and all that. The basis of it is the four birds.
I
And
mean,
I'm gonna send you the outline that I have that needs to be improved upon. But I just
Mhm.
wanted to come up with an outline that we can see how important it is with education, education, education. It's it. Now,
I mean,
how many components of education? See, we just look at education, don't look at the different components of education. Abdul Shaheed is doing one aspect of it right now. That's a
Right.
holistic group-based therapy that's necessary. We have never gotten any mental health. And
I
all
mean, there
these
you go.
years,
Ever.
we haven't.
Yes.
The Quran is here, yes, but what is our thinking capacity? That's always going to be the important piece. Study, 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 ponder, 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 think, think, think. But we're missing those components because of the food that we eat. It's killing
Mm.
us.
Mm.
I mean,
Geometric, altered, genetic, altered, GMO seed. What are y'all talking about?
I mean,
And then they want to give us some artificial intelligence. Well, what about real intelligence? Because artificial intelligence came from somebody's mind. It didn't just pop up on its own.
right.
Absolutely.
It's
So
the
that's it.
shell.
So that educational piece, when you see it, we're gonna have some serious conversations about some of the things that we can use from it and begin the processes right now on how to reach out younger people, our
Yes.
college students. We're gonna have to go out to college. And they call us OGs now. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's a group called the Sunnah Initiatives that's
Uh-huh.
aligned itself now from the universities. They come to our iftar committee meetings and
Great.
they want to help, and they
Excellent.
have their marketing
Yes.
expertise. They
Okay.
have their, and we also have that information here.
Okay.
So, alhamdulillah, we're stepping back and looking at how to fine tune what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has already engaged us with in the
Yeah.
good,
Yeah, I
as
heard
the
you
Imam
earlier.
say,
Yeah, I
fit
heard you
in.
earlier giving an outline, the processes and being better and what we done in 2021, 2022. It's getting better, you know,
Alhamdulillah.
and we learning all these lessons. Lessons mean less on you, so we should be learning from these lessons.
Yeah.
you know. So alhamdulillah, I look forward to it. But make sure you get your email address over to me so I can send you this document. And,
Alhamdulillah, will do.
I got it in St. Louis, Chicago, Atlanta, Florida, then Texas. And then we'll take it to the East Coast where Imam Shaheed is in Jersey, up in those areas. And I'm just surprised at how well things are transpiring in New Jersey. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
loving what's happening in that area, truly in that area. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much. Thank
No
you,
Thank
problem.
you so
Imam.
very much, Brother Rashid.
Okay, no problem.
Go ahead, Sister Martha.
No, I was saying thank you. That was my piece back to the CWSC effort, and I'll leave it right there. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. We're going to share some information about the telethon, but first, anyone have a question about what we've been sharing thus far in terms of health and the ability for a woman to become pregnant, making use of symptomatic signs? Any question at all? Good. Sister Martha, I see your hand back up there.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
a question, but a confirmation for you, for me. Just happening to hear something about on the radio when I was headed to a gynecologist to prepare for a hysterectomy.
Whoa.
And his frustration was when I asked him the question, see, Allah was in the whole process. And I'm on the table
Absolutely.
to be examined. Before he examined me, I asked him about progesterone instead of estrogen. And he snatched off his gloves and slung them into the basket and said, "Call me when you want a hysterectomy." Left me dumbfounded. And then Allah blessed me to learn about black seed oil. And that
Right.
stopped my menses. I had pelvic fibroids and they were moving like I thought I was pregnant. And when I took the black seed, that's what took them away. At the same time, stopped the overflow of the hemorrhaging that I was having each month. I just said Allahu Akbar.
It's amazing. You know what was in that black seed oil that did that?
What was it?
Essential fatty acid. It is essential fatty acids that transfer oxygen into the cell. Isn't that amazing? That's the benefit of the black seed oil. Essential fatty acid is what our cells need to transfer oxygen of hemoglobin into the cell. That's the benefit of essential fatty acids. Absolutely amazing testimony, Sister Martha. And that's what sometimes you offer in those capsules, essential fatty acid. Absolutely amazing.
And I think last week you were speaking about hemoglobin and I was saying
Exactly.
like
Iron-rich
low
blood.
anemic and all of that. So I do need to
Absolutely.
get
That's a
that.
connection.
You know, I had to make some turns. I don't know anybody else's condition, but I had to make some financial turns and
Absolutely.
allow to be fast. I had to go on a fast financially in order to re-engine the mechanism for
Absolutely.
having dollars come forward. So alhamdulillah, fasting is definitely a necessary.
Yeah, abstaining from food on so many different levels, abstention on so many different levels to get us to where we need to be. That is excellent observation, testimony, Sister Martha. Hemoglobin, iron-rich blood. It is iron that escorts oxygen into the cell. Why oxygen is so important? Oxygen is so important because it's the life sustainer. Oxygen has force, energy, and automation, where the cell began to do things automatically without even having to think about it. This is how the Almighty created the human being. See, and when we get things back to normal, normalcy is a part of automation. When things happen automatically. The principle, the rule of automation. There's automation in the universe. The law of automation. Whatever is weak must be strengthened. Whatever is old must be renewed. What is abnormal must be put back to normalcy. That is the law of automation. Without that, things happen chaotically. That's what a disease is. So, brothers and sisters, we're going to share a couple of words about the telethon. Once again, we encourage you to participate in the year-ending telethon. One more time. Year-ending telethon, brothers and sisters. We're asking you to participate with us. Community-wide Shura Conference and American Muslim 360 annual end of the year telethon. Please make your contribution to help us with what we're doing, all of the endeavors that we're engaging in. You heard Sister Martha, you heard me read them off earlier. The goal is $25,000. You can make your tax-deductible contribution by going to CWSC.us. Click on the blue button at the top right. You see it and follow the prompts. You also can call in to make a contribution at 910-317-0297. You can also go to paypal.com, make a payment by credit card to CWSC. You can mail in a contribution, a check or money order to CWSC, Marina Village, 4905, 34th Street South, number 185, St. Petersburg, Florida, 33711-4511. Absolutely amazing. Or you can call the number, and there will be someone there to assist you in making a contribution. Just tell them your name, your phone number, your email address, and a representative will assist you in making your contribution. So that's 4 or 5 ways you can make a contribution to our platform, CWSC and American Muslim 360 annual end of year telethon for the next few days. Be able to do that from Sunday, 1 full week. So we thank you so very much. I see one more hand raised. Brother Muhammad Sharif, Assalamu alaikum. You can unmute yourself and make your comment.
Well, alaikum assalam. How you doing today?
We're doing excellent. What about you?
I'm
Thank you
doing
for joining
good.
us today.
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing great.
Excellent.
Well, so you need a plan, right?
Yes, sir. Always must have a plan. That's what our sales do. They're great planners.
And implement the plan.
And implement. Now, our sales, if we take our indication for them, they never procrastinate.
Right.
They have a plan, they're bound to implement it. That's what they do. They follow through.
Yes,
so we
that's
should take
correct.
our action following them.
Mm-hmm. You know, the Muslim Journal has a plan to raise $1 million.
Allahu Akbar.
But they have exactly how you can do that.
Excellent. So we
Have
need
you
to share
got
that plan.
Yeah, you can go to the Muslim Journal and see. I guess you get the latest issue. Anyway, if you got the last 4 or 5 issues of the Muslim
Yes.
Journal, it tells you right there the plan that to raise $1 million. Did you get the Muslim Journal?
Yes.
Right. Okay, you saw what Sister Daya Muhammad out of Atlanta has a plan?
Yes.
Right.
We'll go back and check it out.
Yeah, check that out. With about less than $2 a day.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, right. You come with $1 million. Yeah. So that's what we want. AMP6 just figure out how many people, how many subscribers you have, and go right there, and put out the plan. We can go ahead and make it $1 million in no time.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
We just need to follow through.
Yeah, I suggest everyone to get the Muslim Journal. Let's go and see what the plan is. It could come up with $1 million for the Muslim Journal. We do the same thing with AMP60.
Absolutely.
Alhamdulillah. All right.
We're looking forward to doing our part.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. You know, my question was, how does some women don't have or don't have the desire to have any children, and then there's other women have 5, 6, 7, 10 children. How's that discrepancy?
Some women don't desire to have children. We mentioned that earlier because of the experience and suffering that they saw their parent go through, the mother go through. They're suffering, so they're scared to death. They're frightened to have children. And there are other children, there's other women who are at the pinnacle of their career and never feel fulfilled until they have a child.
Right.
Instilled in them. It is our sisters, our women, that populate the earth. They have that responsibility. So it is that mindset that make it contrary. So a human being is more than just what you see. It's more than just what you see. They have to produce the neurons, the neurotransmitter, to be a normal human being. And those desires that the Almighty has put in us will be expressed. They'll come out of us. That's how it's done. That's why our health is so important.
No, those that they have that fear, maybe they should talk to the mothers that have 5 or more children.
No, they should come to symptometry
let them talk
and
to
remove.
them.
They should come to symptometry and remove the fear by ionizing their blood and produce neurons and neurotransmitter and remove the toxic, the poison, and the kill from their reproductive organs. That's what needs to happen. Their attitude would change. That's what's happening.
Okay.
So we thank you. Well, we've reached the end of our program. We'd like to thank those people for joining us today here on Optimal Health on AM 360. We have the next program coming on right on our heel. Imam Abdul Aziz from Mali Ali Kuli High. And their motto is, we are together under any and all circumstances. Believe it or not, brothers and sisters, we are all together.
That's right.
It might seem like it's haphazard, but we have no one to depend on but each other. So we are all together, unified, like it or not. So we're going to relinquish the mic and pass this mic on to the next host that come on after us. So brother and sister, we look forward to next Monday, same time, same station, with a new episode of Optimal Health on AM 360, where we teach you about how to help ourselves to self-correct, self-cleanse, recalibrate, and self-perpetuate. It is we who will provide cleaner blood with more oxygen. Thank you so very much for joining us. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be
Wa alaikum assalam.